What is going on, guys? Randall19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hopefully everybody's having a better day than me because it is raining here in Chicago. I don't really care for that, but let's get into this Rand's Rant. So if you're new to the series, Rand's Rant is usually where I take a news article or something that just happened in the gaming industry and give my opinions on it. So this is going to be a Rand's Rant about Halo 6, right? Now, if you guys remember last week, Bonnie Ross gave a talk at DICE about how all future Halo games will have split screen support, and her Stewards of a Sci-Fi Universe talk. It was basically reported by every major website. A lot of people, talked about it, and split screen should be there. It's a feature, it's a staple of Halo, so it was kind of weird that they took it from 5. I understand why. So that was going, but I'm not talking about the split screen support. I'm talking about what she said about Halo 6. And this is going to be pretty opinion-based speculation. So if you don't like that, well, too bad. My opinion, my channel. Okay. You can see up there I have the image, right? It says here, she also discussed the studio's approach to storytelling going forward, saying, quote, "While we love our transmedia, sometimes I do think we tell a bit too much story in our games. So with future Halo titles, Ross and 343 is planning to keep the game's stories simpler and use transmedia to tell the deeper stories. She used the approach taken in the recent released Halo Wars 2, an example of how 343 plans to tell stories in games going forward." This really wasn't talked about by anybody. It kind of went under the radar. People talked about the split screen stuff, but didn't talk about this simpler story approach for Halo 6 at all. And the reason I'm talking about it is because Halo is like my favorite franchise, and there are things I've heard through the grapevine about Halo 6 that might jive with this, so I'm going to, talk about it. So I've heard through the grapevine that Halo 6 may not be a conventional Halo game, right? Which, okay, whatever. I have no idea what that means, right? But then you read this, and you hear that it's going to have a simpler story. What does that even mean? Like, I get, transmedia. They said they love the transmedia. I get that. Like, comic books, movies, other things that aren't exactly in the video game itself. That's their transmedia. I mean, you can tell deeper stories, obviously, in a book than you can in a video game. But the thing about Halo 5 was people loved the multiplayer, right? That was the one thing people can all agree on, maybe outside of the rec pack stuff, is that the multiplayer was a return to form. The best it's maybe been since Halo 2, or I guess that if people who like Halo 3, but really, really good. And the one kind of thing people can agree on was the story wasn't all that. That nobody really wanted to play as Agent Locke. People wanted to play as Master Chief, and they felt kind of gypped that you only played as Master Chief for a couple levels, and that the story wasn't very well told or good. She even mentioned in the talk that it's hard to tell a story with all these enemies coming at you and you shooting everything. But is that really? I'm not really sure that's the case, because other studios can do that quite well, tell stories while under fire. So I don't know if that's a 343 problem, because Bungie didn't have that problem. Some of the Call of Duties don't have that problem. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this simpler approach, because when I think of a simple Halo approach, I think of what they did in Halo 4 with Spartan Ops, if you guys remember that. It was basically, they give you this objective and you go complete it, and there's really no story. It's kind of like wave-based survival or just some stupid thing you got to do, and then they have a blur cutscene, or like a really good cutscene afterwards. And they mention how Halo Wars 2 is an example of the stories they want to tell going forward, and I wonder if that's the case. Is Halo 6 going to be that different from Halo 5 and the previous Halos? Does that jive with the idea that the next Halo isn't conventional? And I feel like if that's the case, if they're going to try... Look, I'm all for telling more personal stories in video games, right? The more personal, the better. I don't need these overarching grand things. So if you're going to take Halo 6 and it's just going to be Master Chief and just his story, about his mission to, maybe redeem Cortana, that's great. But if simpler means something else, if simpler means the missions aren't as long, there isn't as much dialogue, If it's more structured like Spartan Ops than it is like actual Halo, then that will be then, and that, in my opinion, that is a huge misstep because people like Halo's story, people like Halo's lore, right? I'm one of them. I really like the lore of Halo, even though I never read the books. I like reading everything and learning as much as I can about the universe. And one of the complaints people have with the last couple Halo games is a lot of important information is locked away in other things you don't need to read. Like Halo 4's story gets shitted on by a lot of people that it doesn't make any sense and who's the didact and all that stuff. But all the relevant information is for all that stuff that makes the game more fleshed out is in those terminals, if you guys remember. And if you actually watch the terminals that opened up that stupid like Halo app or whatever and watch those videos, it makes the story it helps the story along. It basically gives the backstory of what is going on in Halo 4 in regards to the didact. And that's important information that needs to be in the game, but it wasn't in the game. It was, hidden away. Same thing with like Halo 5. If it's important information, it should be right in your face. Like I hate when games hide away important things and like collectibles and things like that. Like please. So yeah, I'm kind of. I hope this doesn't mean what I think it does. I hope I'm overreacting. Right? Halo means a lot to me. Halo 2 is a game I met a lot, of friends on. I played for a year. I love Halo 2's multiplayer. In my opinion, the best multiplayer ever. So I hope I'm just overreacting to this. I hope I hope it doesn't mean what I think it could mean. I hope that we're getting a proper Halo 6 with a fully fleshed out single player campaign with like 4-player co-op where you play as Master Chief throughout the entire thing, because please, I don't want to play as Agent Locke. Nobody wants to play as Agent Locke. So just scrap that idea. If you want to make an Agent Locke game, go make a spin-off, right? But Halo, at least mainline Halos, are about Master Chief and his battles. So yeah, please do the right thing by Halo. Make Halo great again. At least the story or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to share this, guys. This with you. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I know I already know a few people are going to hate me for talking about this, but let me know what you think they could possibly mean by Halo 6 having a simpler story, right? Are you a fan of that? Are you not? Let me know in the comments. I do read everything. I do have a big, huge giveaway going on. If you check my Twitter, I'll leave it in the link if you want. I'm giving away 10 Xbox One games. But hey, if you like the video, you want to see more of these rants, daily rants, let me know. Hit that like button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Consider subscribing for more content as I put it out daily. I got a couple rants in these spotlights coming out tonight. And I'll see everybody later.